Nghe An announces revised 2021 to 2030 provincial plan. Launches 2026 investment promotion.
U.S. President Trump claims historic deal to disarm Hamas.
14 nations form maritime security alliance in the Middle East.
Hello, so good to see you again in today's news. I'm Nghe An, and here we go, the first step of the show. Nghe An on Friday held a conference to announce its revised 2021-2030 provincial plan with a vision to 2050 and launch the 2026 investment promotion program.
Under the theme, Nghe An, turning development aspirations into reality, the conference presented the key revisions to the provincial plan while showcasing the province's investment potential, competitive advantages, policy incentives, and a portfolio of priority projects. Under Prime Minister's Decision Number 2856, Nghe An aims to become one of Vietnam's better-performing provinces and a key growth pole in the north-central region by 2030, targeting average annual GRDP growth of 11 to 12%. The revised plan outlines a development model comprising 1 driving center, 2 growth poles, 3 spatial zones, 4 development pillars, 5 economic corridors, and 6 key urban areas, with the Southeast Economic Zone remaining the province's primary growth engine. To implement the plan, Nghe An has identified 5 key tasks and 3 strategic breakthroughs, focusing on human resource development, science and technology, innovation, and digital transformation. At the conference, provincial leaders awarded investment policy approvals, investment registration certificates, and cooperation agreements for 25 flagship projects with a combined registered capital of more than VND 110 trillion for $0.2 billion.
U.S. President Donald Trump said on July 30th that the peace council set up under his administration had reached what he described as a historic agreement with Hamas on a roadmap for the complete disarmament of armed groups in Gaza Strip.
Under the proposed plan, Hamas and other armed groups would disarm in phases alongside a gradual Israeli military withdrawal. Under the supervision of an international stabilization force and a new Palestinian administration. Trump said the agreement was the result of 8 months of negotiations mediated by Egypt, Qatar and Turkey, describing it as a turning point toward ending the conflict and rebuilding Gaza. The plan also calls for the establishment of a new Palestinian police force and the dismantling of Hamas tunnel network and weapons stockpiles, with implementation expected to take 200 to 350 days. However, significant challenges remain. Israel has yet to confirm its acceptance of the agreement and continues to express skepticism over Hamas' commitment to disarmament. Meanwhile, fighting in Gaza continues, underscoring that progress toward peace will depend on whether all parties fully implement their commitments.
14 countries have formed a new maritime security alliance to strengthen cooperation in protecting strategic shipping routes against the growing threats to maritime security.
The alliance aims to enhance intelligence sharing, coordinate joint patrols and surveillance, and strengthen responses to threats such as piracy, smuggling, terrorism, and other activities that undermine maritime security. The initiative also seeks to ensure the uninterrupted flow of global trade, particularly along strategic shipping routes that are vital to international supply chains. Member states pledge to expand cooperation and training, joint exercises, and capacity building for maritime law enforcement agencies, while working with international organizations to uphold freedom of navigation and promote maritime safety and security. The participating countries expressed confidence that the new mechanism would help safeguard critical sea lanes and strengthen collective responses to increasingly complex maritime security challenges.
Upcoming are some updated news.
Vietnam has expanded 5G network coverage to nearly 90% of its population, placing the country among the world's fastest adopters of the technology. according to the Ministry of Science and Technology at its monthly press briefing in July. The ministry said that while many countries took 2 to 3 years to achieve more than 80% population coverage, Vietnam rapidly expanded its 5G footprint, demonstrating its growing capability in deploying advanced telecommunications technologies and optimizing network infrastructure. Alongside the nationwide rollout of 5G, Vietnam is preparing for the next generation of mobile technology by establishing a 6G steering committee comprising government agencies, telecommunications companies and universities. The committee will enable Vietnam to participate early in 6G research and the development of international standards, helping shorten the timeline for mastering the technology and strengthening the country's role in the global telecommunications value chain.
A new government decree, effective from September 10th, introduces tougher penalties for labor law violations in Vietnam. Under Decree number 283/2026/NDCP, employers who retain employees' original identity documents, diplomas or certificates, or require workers to provide a security deposit, face fines of VND 20 to 25 million, US $760, $950, and must return all withheld documents or property. Employers who fail to prevent or properly address workplace sexual harassment, or who commit related violations, may be fined up to VND 30 million, depending on the nature and severity of the offense. The decree also imposes stricter penalties for a range of other labor violations, including extending probation periods beyond legal limits, paying probationary wages below statutory requirements, improperly applying key performance indicator (KPI) assessments, and engaging in forced labor.
Super Typhoon Dolphin continued to intensify over the northwestern Pacific on July 31st, reaching the upper end of Category 17 with gusts exceeding that level, making it the fourth super typhoon of the 2026 Pacific typhoon season. Forecasters expect the storm to move west-northwest over the coming days before turning toward China's Fujian-Zhejiang coastal region. According to Vietnam's National Center for Hydrometeorological Forecasting, there are currently no indications that Dolphin will enter the South China Sea. However, from around August 5th, the storm's circulation is expected to strengthen the southwest monsoon over the South China Sea. On August 6th-7, winds of force 6 to 7 are forecast across many parts of the sea, including the Paracel and Spratly archipelagos, with waves of 2 to 4 meters and rough seas that could disrupt maritime operations.
Land clearance for Vinh-Thanh Thuy Expressway has entered its final phase, with many localities reporting strong public support for handing over land for the project. However, several outstanding issues still need to be resolved promptly to ensure construction stays on schedule for the nationally significant infrastructure project. More in this story today.
For the Vinh-Thanh Thuy Expressway project, nearly 200 graves in Hoa Quan commune must be relocated. Local authorities have designated a new cemetery covering nearly 1 hectare and stepped up public outreach to build public consensus. So far, 120 graves have been relocated, with the remaining work expected to be completed by August 5th. Regarding residential land, compensation plans have been approved for 87 land plots, including 57 households requiring resettlement, although compensation payments have yet to be disbursed. Many residents have voluntarily dismantled their old homes and started building new ones to hand over land for the project.
Residents have been fully informed about the project since March, so there is broad consensus. My family is already dismantling our old house and preparing to build a new one so we can hand over the site on schedule. We are happy to support the project because it will contribute to the country's development and benefit future generations.
While many households in Hoa Quan commune have voluntarily cleared their homes to facilitate the project, compensation payments remain delayed because land prices at 3 resettlement sites have yet to be finalized.
Compensation rates for the affected properties have already been approved, and the commune is ready to make payments. However, the resettlement process cannot move forward until land prices at the new resettlement site are approved. This is necessary to finalize payment calculations, determine any balance residents need to pay or receive, and organize the allocation of resettlement plots.
Meanwhile, in Nam Dan Commune, 127 households are affected by land acquisition involving residential and garden land. So far, 63 households have yet to sign compensation agreements, including 6 property investors owning 15 land plots. Following a meeting with local authorities on July 28, Vice Chairman of the Ngayéen People's Committee Hoang Phu Hien instructed the commune to complete compensation payments for residential and garden land by August 15, 2026.
We will continue engaging with the remaining households to build consensus. Our goal is to hand over the site by August 15, 2026. After that, authorities will take the necessary measures to ensure construction can proceed in accordance with the law.
Kim Bang Commune, through which more than 22 kilometers of the expressway will pass, over one-third of the project's total length, continues to face mounting pressure in land clearance. 2 resettlement areas have yet to select construction contractors, while compensation plans for many affected households remain pending approval.
There are still 7 households whose land origins need to be verified. Most cases involve houses built on land originally classified as perennial cropland, making it difficult to confirm land use before July 1, 2014. Which has delayed the process.
Land clearance in Kim Bang stalled during the second half of July due to personnel-related issues. As a result, the section passing through the commune has become the project's biggest bottleneck, requiring urgent support and coordination from provincial authorities to remove obstacles and keep construction on schedule.
The last story to send it our news today. Thank you so much for your attention. Goodbye for now and see you later.